I have assembled 3 poems on love. Not the just everyday kind of love. These poems cover the pain, the anguish of dysfunctional selfish love, if such a thing exists. Also the pain of lost love that the person just cannot get past. And finally, the joy of a simple, spontaneous affection that, while not love on the scope we like to think about, is one of the small building blocks that create a long-term, deeply felt, loving relationship over time. This first example comes from the greatest of the English language writers, Shakespeare, from his play Macbeth. Without going over the entire plot here, we know that having been tipped off by the 3 weird sisters, witches, that he shall become King of Scotland, and he lets his wife, Lady Macbeth, know this, the 2 of them then conspire to murder the true king, Duncan, while he is a guest at their castle, and frame his 2 chamberlains for the task, for the deed. Well, one murder brings in the need for more, and this will include Macbeth's dear friend Banquo. And eventually the king, who wanted to serve his people, becomes a tyrant, and the people rise up against him under Malcolm, the son of Duncan, the previous king. Feeling confident that he is invincible as king due to the witch's prophecy, Macbeth becomes concerned at the size of the army that is advancing toward him, and further that they are carrying tree boughs from Birnam Wood, since the prophecies had stated that he would be safe as king as long as Birnam Wood does not move. And then word comes that Lady Macbeth has killed herself out of guilt over the deeds that she and her husband have committed. Remember, she was the one that in her sleepwalking wished away the damn spots. And this is what Macbeth says of the meaning of life as he saw it at this point. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creep at this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. And now we have an offering from Edgar Allan Poe, the arch-American romantic writer, the first American to make his living from writing alone, which doomed him to a life of poverty for his entire 40 years of life. At age 27, he married his 13-year-old cousin, and they were married 12 years until she died of tuberculosis, or consumption as they called it. Clearly, the following poem expresses some of his feelings about this. It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived, whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. And this maiden, she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child, and she was a child in this kingdom by the sea, but we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabel Lee, with a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted, her and me. And this is the reason that long ago in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabel Lee, so that her high-born kinsman came and bore her away from me to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels, not half so happy in heaven, went envying her and me. Yes, that is the reason that, as all men know in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we. And neither the angels in heaven above nor the demons down under the sea can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee, and the stars never rise but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so, all the night long, I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea. And finally, we have Leigh Hunt, who, like Poe, was a literary critic and poet of the early 19th century. In the case of Hunt, he lived in England. Poe was born in Boston and lived in Baltimore. And here we experience the sudden excitement and the thrill of a quick, innocent, and unexpected gesture of love as something that, in one's old age, brings back sweet memories and some joy. Jenny kissed me when we met, jumping from the chair she sat in. Time, you thief, who likes to get things into your list, put that in. Say I'm weary. Say I'm sad. Say that health and wealth have missed me. Say I'm growing old. But add, Jenny kissed me.